You ask me which team is the best in this Asia Cup, and I'll without a doubt say that by far it's India. But after winning the match, the final against Afghanistan from 75 runs, obviously, picking up the trophy. But can I still say, after all of this, that Pakistan is the number 2 side? I have my doubts, and in this particular video, we'll definitely talk about that what, threat is there for India, as I already said in the start. And I'm not talking about what threat they have from Pakistan. It's also from Afghanistan. It's also from Sri Lanka. Yes, nobody is mentioning at this point of time, the Charit Asalankas, the Pathum Nishankas, there's Kushal Mendes, there's Dashun Shanaka, and then you have their trio also, Vellalage, then you have Hasaranga, you have Tikshana, and all of us know about Pathirana, what he can do, on his day. So, nobody at this point of time talking about Sri Lanka. They have a great balance. And apart from that, the spin quartet of Afghanistan, where they have Allah Ghazanfar, who can operate in, the power play overs. Then you have someone like a Mohammad Nabi also can operate there. You have a Noor and Rashid Khan to operate, in between the middle over phase. So, do India have this much of strength where they can take on a Hasaranga and a Vellalage and then a Mais Tikshana also, as per the combinations? And then, talking about this quartet, this Afghan quartet, do they have the power, where it's assisting, where it's certain, a slow surface? Do they have the firepower or the pedigree, to go all guns blazing as far as these spin combination are concerned? And why I'm only talking about spin combination, because it's going to be that the challenge for Indian team. Yes, there will be some oddball from Fazal Faruqi, there will be some oddball from Shaheen Shah Afridi or something from Matisha Pathirana, but most of the challenge, who possess most of the challenge are the spinners. And that's why, in this particular video, we will go deep, and we'll try to think, we'll try to put in perspective that what's the actual threats for India at this point of time. As you all know, that Indian team have already practiced the two practice sessions. Obviously, day one was a little less as far as intensity is concerned, but day two they go, it was full Monty on day two. So from there to now, it's a rest day yesterday for Indian team. And yes, there's been some hop around here and there in the city for a little break, but apart from that, everyone from Team India rested good. And now on this day, when you're watching this video, it's going to be another full intensity session, because after this, it's match day -1. There will be a captain's press conference also, and obviously Suryakumar Yadav will be part of that. But before that, it will be all about today's full throttle practice session. This will be the last as far as Indian teams, the pre-practice sessions are concerned, and after that you have to play a game on 10th. So starting from Pakistan, why I'm not saying they won the game quite comfortably. Mohammad Nawaz with a fifer, with a hat-trick also in it, and apart from him, there was Abrar who's doing really well, Sufyan who's doing really well, then Shaheen with that early blow, of Rahmanullah Gurbaz. But if you see Pakistan's team, it's not about their bowling, it's about their batting, who's disappointing them day in, day out. And that's where the first concerns come out. If you see their batting, it's Sahibzada Farhan and Saim Ayub. They are opening for them. And, nobody, from both of them, nobody at this point of time giving you any kind of confidence. Yes, I was there in the press conference last night where Salman Ali Agha told about each and every one. You talk about a Mohammad Haris not getting runs. You talk about a Fakhar Zaman, only one innings in this whole series. And then you have to find more and more, if you are going back into different series, that where is a Fakhar Zaman match-winning knock. There aren't much as far as Wakar Sama is concerned. So if you pick player by player and then player by player from top order to low order, you will get that there are no consistency. You know, there are few players who are doing good, like Captain Salman Ali Agha, who's batting well. He did really well in this particular series. Even in the final, his partnership with Nawaz was important. In the first game also, his half century against Afghanistan was important. The way he's taking on Rashid Khan gives you an idea that he's the only one, or maybe one or two in Pakistan's team who can pick the spinners with their hand rather than off the surface. So that makes a good, interesting case as far as their batting is concerned. But apart from Salman Ali Agha, you have you heard a lot of praise from of this, both of the Nawaz and Hassan Nawaz in particularly. When I'm talking about the batting, Hassan Nawaz, they used to say him that he is the next big thing in Pakistan cricket, who can easily clear boundaries, and there were a lot of chat around him, but again you can see him failing down. So my point is all about that. You can talk about Pakistan winning this tri series. You can also talk about that they beaten a side like Afghanistan twice, within what, 10 odd days. But when it comes to the most important thing, when it comes to the consistency of the results, that's where Pakistan is lacking at this point of time. Yes, they won series, West Indies. If you see West Indies, if you see before that also, they won the series, but I still think that this team still have a long way to go as far as their batting is concerned. And then, talking about their bowling, yes, their bowling is good. As far as, if you talk about in these conditions, their bowling is good. The way Abrar is bowling, it was at the very last game when they introduced both of their main spinners. It was earlier that Sufyan Mukim and Nawaz was bowling, but at this point of time, if you'll see, it was Abrar, it was Sufyan, and then it was Mohammad Nawaz. So as far as these conditions are concerned, they can go with these three spinners. But I think quality-wise, yes, Abrar is good, even Sufyan. But I think for India, playing against Pakistani spinners doesn't have that much of challenge, where and if you can compare it with the spin in the spin options of Sri Lanka and then in Afghanistan, then you will say that yes, the biggest challenge will be facing a Vellalage, facing a Hasaranga, facing a Tikshana, and then apart from that, if you have to face someone like a Rashid, Noor, Allah Ghazanfar, and then you have a Mohammad Nabi also. So these guys will possess most challenge against Indian team when it comes out to the spinners, playing the spinners in these kind of tricky conditions. And believe you me, it's over 40, each and every day. I'm here from last 3 to 4 days, and it's already touching the mid 40s, and the whole day, if you spend a whole day here, it will be around 43, 44, and then evenings be like 36, 38. Yes, there is wind. You'll find a little relief because of the wind, but I don't think that you're getting much help as far as, and even for the players also, they are not finding any kind of help with that wind. So it's going to be a tricky situation. It's going to be something where you can say that, players have to have some plans against spinners, because the wicket is gripping, it has turned into it, and then the kind of quality these teams have, I think it's going to be the most challenging thing for an Indian cricket team, to face specifically to play against these two teams. Now it's about, if you talk about a number two, and you see why I'm not saying Afghanistan. Yes, they've lost to Pakistan twice in this series, and it will be not fair if I say that Afghanistan is still the number two team. They don't, because they don't have that batting depth. Again, the same problem. What the kind of problem you see in Pakistan? There's another problem in Team Pakistan, that they have most of their players, most of their lower order players also. Someone like a Mohammad Haris, they have to pick him, and they are playing him at number 6 or number 7. So that's one more thing where Pakistan lacks. They have multiple options. If you talk about, a top order batters, but they don't have multiple options when you talk about middle order and a lower order player. So they have to go with a Fahim Ashraf also with some bowling utility. They have to go with a Mohammad Haris also, who's their only wicketkeeper option apart from, yes, Sahibzada Farhan. But Sahibzada Farhan doesn't keep. You can't tell about Sahibzada Farhan that he is your proper wicketkeeper at this point of time. So that's where he lacks. So Mohammad Haris, to include Mohammad Haris, it's again a difficult situation for Pakistan to take call on him, because he is your only proper wicketkeeper batter. So the problem with Afghanistan is, again, if you talk about Sadiqullah Atal, if you talk about Ibrahim Zadran, if you talk about Rahmanullah Gurbaz, so how they started this tri-series is they are going with a combination of Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran at the top, and then Sadiqullah Atal. But after first game, what they did is they, a little tweak in the batting order. They sent Sadiqullah Atal at the top with Rahmanullah Gurbaz, and then they said that to Ibrahim Zadran that you come at number 3. And then suddenly it's working out for them. But the main thing is, you pick a Zadran and a Atal or a Rahmanullah Gurbaz, and then you see there is no actual batting, down there. Yes, Rashid can play cameos. Yes, Nabi can with him. There are multiple options who, Faridi is there. But I don't think that, they have that kind of batting depth where you can say, oh, these guys can also win you matches. Yes, Rashid can play a cameo and he can turn any game on its head, at a given situation. But I don't think that, before Rashid, they have anyone who they can, at this point of time vouch for that this guy can, take us over the line. So that's where the problem arises for Team Afghanistan. And then one more thing, they are still not prepared for the big games. Like what happened yesterday, what happened in the Tri-Series final. They completely collapsed. Every one of them is coming and going for the big shots. So, and I asked this to, I asked this to Jonathan, and he said that yes, for a fair amount, you can say this, that they have to be mentally tough. I asked him that there were multiple moments in the past where Afghanistan team, and the biggest example is the semi-final of the T20 World Cup. So I asked him, and he said, yes, they have to work on, in these kind of situations mentally, because these are tough situations and these are new to these guys, and they have to, pull up their socks as far as these kind of situations are concerned. So for me, yes, it's these two situations where Team Afghanistan at this point of time, lacks. And coming to Sri Lanka, I think, as I said that, under Charita Aslanka, Pathum Nishanka, you have a Kushal Mendes there, you have someone like a Dashun Chanaka. They have again good batting lineup, good depth, good options. Even Vellalage, we all know that what he can do as far as batting is concerned. We all know that Hasaranga, what he can do as far as batting is concerned. And they were the champions last time around when this Asia Cup was played in a T20 format. And at this very venue, they beat India, they beat, Pakistan in the final after a tricky situation. So I think that we have to take them seriously. And Sri Lanka have that kind of option, that kind of, balance in them, where you can say that they are the actual number 2 side. And when Pakistan's play Sri Lanka, that will be a good game. That's where Pakistan will know this, that yes, this team is better than us as far as balance is concerned. Obviously, there is Bangladesh also, but at this point of time, I don't think that, they have that kind of, skill or what you can say, experience. Plus, if you add that kind of X factor in them, where we can say that yes, they could be the number 2. But yes, T20 format, I know it makes you completely takes you out of the in certain situations where you think that, oh, this can also happen. A small team like USA can beat Pakistan, Zimbabwe can beat Pakistan. So there could be a possibility where you can say that yes, Bangladesh can obviously win against big teams, but there's a less probability there. So for me, Sri Lanka could be your number 2, or you can say a Sri Lanka / Pakistan. But yes, the way Pakistan, played against Afghanistan is this tri-series. At this point of time, you can rate them higher than Afghanistan. But there were initially a lot of debate, a lot of criticism from the Pakistan cricketers, from their so-called experts, from their media, that Pakistan is a number 3 or a number 4 side. They have ranked them under Afghanistan somewhere. Some of them also ranked Pakistan under Bangladesh also. But I think they are not that bad as far as these situations, these conditions are concerned. It's not a place where you will always score over 200. It's a place where if you score some days 140 also, like the Sharjah wicket, and there are not much difference. There is no actual chalk and cheese kind of thing as far as these two conditions are concerned. Yes, the ICC Academy wickets are very flat. They are really good for batting, but there is not much difference if you talk about a DIS, Dubai International Stadium, and after that if you talk about this Sharjah wicket. So I think there won't be every day where you are scoring over 200. Some days it will come around 140, 150 will be your winning score. So that's where I think that yes, Pakistan lacking batting stability, Pakistan lacking a batting firepower, but still they have certain batters. If the conditions will be somewhere around that, you can score 140 or 150 and then you can win the match from there. That could be, that's what Pakistan needed at this point of time. So that's my analysis. About the different teams, the kind of challenges they possess. Is India ready for this? You have to see the games for them. But I think against the spin quality of Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, it will be interesting to see that India can go all guns blazing. What's the approach? What the approach India is following under Gautam Gambhir since that T20 World Cup. Can they replicate that? If they can, there's no one stopping that at this point of time. Because as I said in the first part of the video, that if you ask me who's the best team, India by far. Thank you.